guys. So just time for a little update on things. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and keep this short actually because I just got home from work and my voice is shot and I've actually been sick the past couple of days with, some GI stuff and all that fun stuff. So anyway, updates. So I have to have surgery in December. Um Outpatient as of right now, but a little cancer that has to go. So fingers crossed on that. That's unnerving. I mean, it certainly could be worse, but that has to go. So that's happening. And thank God I currently have health insurance. I don't know what's going to happen in the new year as far as that goes. Health insurance, I mean. So guess we'll see. What else? 40 next month. I turn 40 next month, which is crazy. And I can't believe it, and yet I can. And trying to figure out what to do because I wanted to have a big party, and that's not happening. So trying to think about what to do for that, and money's tight and all that stuff. So don't know what's happening there, but I am taking some vacation time. I had some time that I was going to roll over into next year, and I just found out I can't. I've never really had a job that gave paid vacation this way, so it's a learning curve. So I was going to roll it over to go to Europe next year. I hope. But can't. So taking some time off around my birthday and trying to figure out what the hell to do with it. It's interesting because I usually don't mind doing stuff alone. I do a lot of things alone, but um, like say going to Mexico somewhere or something, it's like I don't want to do that alone for my 40th birthday. Like, if I'm gonna go to a destination somewhere, I kind of want to have a lot of sex. So I don't want to go alone. I don't have anybody to go with. So, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I might just do loop around Southern California, or I thought about going to see my brother for Christmas, but I've got Sam I am, so I don't want to fly with him. And I'm worried about because my brother lives in the Northwest, and I worry about, with weather getting stuck. My car, I do not have an off-road car anymore. So I don't know about that. But anyway, that's happening. And again, money, like what can I actually like realistically afford to do? But I do want to do something because 40 is a big one. And um, I've never had a big thing that's for me. I never have been married. I didn't go to prom. I would like to have something that's just about me, but blah, we'll see. I'm very tired. Oh my God, I always say that. I always say how tired I am, but I'm always tired. But one of the reasons I'm tired, oh my God, I've had night sweats for forever, but they have just been unforgiving lately, just unforgiving, just absolutely soaking, and it's so uncomfortable and miserable. But the good news is the past couple of weeks I've had a lot of um, unexpected stuff come up in that whole thing we've been talking about. And so I've been doing a lot of meditation practices and visualization practices. And there's a book I want to recommend for any of you if you're neurodivergent, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you have any of that stuff, or, if you're just a regular person and you just want to help, maintain and manage your shit. Um, this book, I hope you can read it because I cannot pronounce this guy's name, but it's called Creative Visualization. I'm going to try and pronounce his name. It's Shakti Gawain. Oh, there, you can see it in this one, I think. So I've read this book, God, 15, 20 years ago. I read it every couple of years, and I really get into the practice of doing these visual meditation techniques. And I find them to be very, very helpful and very effective. The problem is I get out of the habit of doing them, and then, it cycles where you go up and you're feeling good, and oh, you're doing all the things you're doing, and then you slowly, fall off of those practices, and then you end up back in the ditch, and then you have to crawl back out of the ditch. So, anyway, I've been doing a lot of meditative practices, visualization practices, and what I call dream work. You know, Christian people might call it praying, spiritual people might call it something like that. But to me, I call it dream work, and it's just a process I do of asking for clarity on issues. whether it's clarity from the universe or from myself, my own mind, whatever. But I find it to be a very effective process. And I've just been having the most vivid, insane dreams. Um, and even a lot of them are, I've been dreaming for weeks about stuff from like with my family and my, friends that I'm not friends with any, like my high school friends. I mean, really just like what is bringing that stuff up? And it's probably all tied into insecurities and that are rooted in abuse that I experienced at those age, groups. But um, what's interesting, I want to make a record of this dream I had a few nights ago. I think you guys might find this interesting. And if you don't, well, I'm usually just talking to myself in these videos anyway. I mean, this is part of my process. So anyway, I had a dream when I was doing this clarity meditation, and I had this dream that this vampire fell in love with me. And I didn't know he was a vampire initially. And he was just, we were, I mean, the chemistry was off the charts. We were insanely attracted to each other, and we just fell madly in love. And him almost more so with me. And I'm trying to remember all the details. It was a few nights ago, but um, it turned out he had this whole like cabal of wives and women that he had been in love with or was in love with, and they were still, he had turned them all into vampires at one point or another. And I was taken to kind of this group of women, and they were all different ages and colors and shapes and all these very very different women. But the universal was that they had been in love with this vampire at some point, and he had made them into a vampire, and they were still kind of involved with him in one way or another, and they all kind of had different powers and different abilities, and all this like harem of vampire women. And they were around me and touching me and doing all this stuff, and they're like, this is incredible. We've just never, we've been with him for however long, and we've just never seen him like this. So enamored, so in love. Just the way he is with you. I've never seen him with anybody else like this. And, it was really interesting. And, they all had these different abilities, except for there was one of his wives, and she was furious, and she hated me, and she was like, no, see, because I'm his main wife, and he loves me the most because and he doesn't know this, but I was a werewolf before he turned me into a vampire. So I'm the most impressive one here because I have werewolf blood and now I have vampire blood. And she was just going on and on because sometime in this period, he had turned me into a vampire because I was like, hey, cool, let's do it. And I was more powerful than all of them, including the vampire himself and all the wives and all this stuff. So this one wife is just completely unraveling because no, 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 it can't be you. It can't be you. I'm the best one here. I'm the most powerful one here. And I have this blood and that blood and you don't have this. And, she was just losing it. And in the process of announcing to everybody that she was also a werewolf, which none of us had known, she just became this beast, this combination of a vampire werewolf. Because, like in this dream sense, you couldn't combine those two bloods. Like it was like, no, you can't actually do that. It turns you into something awful. And I don't remember if she like imploded or we all somehow defeated her, but she ended up just destructing. I don't remember self-destruct or what, but it was just like it was so awful to watch this woman just completely come undone, and it was really sad in a way. And I think it was tied to because in the dream I kept passing out in the dream, and I was like vomiting while I was passed out, and I was vomiting up this white fluid. And the other wives were like, oh, that's because out of all of us, he chose you to be the mother of his child. So you've had to drink this chalk substance to help you, carry this child. And that's why you keep passing out and vomiting up this white fluid. It's this chalk like fluid. And they were all loving and supportive. And just this vampire was still completely just, and even though I was more powerful even than he was, I remember there was one point in the dream where all of us were at a gym and I was able to outperform all of them and do all this stuff and lift things I had never been able to lift. And it was just super like empowering and to remember that yes, I am strong. And we all are in some way. And sometimes we forget. And sometimes we get bogged down and we get in the ditch. Like I was saying, we get in the ditch and we forget our own strength. And we forget that, hey, I have survived every day of my life, as bad as some days have been, and as horrible as some things have happened. I've been dreaming about my ex who I love dearly. I loved him so much. And he almost broke my arm once when I caught him cheating on me. And I've been dreaming of him and our dog Henry, who was really my dog, but he was our dog, you know what I mean? I survived all of that, and you have survived everything up until this point too. So remember that you are strong because that's what I remembered from this dream. And I woke up, I was laying in my bed almost laughing at 3 or 4 in the morning, just laughing at the absurdity, but how on the nose it all was. And, our brains are really amazing things, and we can do so much. And, we've got to be just kind to each other and forgiving because, hold on to your strength, right? Because that's what I'm doing. That's what this dream was about. It was hold on to you are powerful. And look, other people love you, even strangers, even strange women you don't know. Even powerful creatures themselves, they love you because you are powerful and strong and good at things and intelligent. And, as bad as my body image stuff can be, and as hard as things have been at work lately, which I won't even get into all of that. That's a whole thing. But just, and yes, maybe I'll be poor forever. American poor, I mean, and yeah, everything. And, I was talking to somebody about, um, what's happening in Israel and Palestine, the Palestinians, and how we're ignoring the genocides in China and Ukraine and Congo and all these other places because we're focusing on this genocide now. So all these horrible things are happening in the world. But we, as individuals, we are powerful and we can do things. And the most important thing we can do is lead with love and kindness and forgiveness. And I'm going to give you one kind of last example of that. I made a silly post. I'm gonna go. Oh God, I'm running out of time. I made a silly post on Twitter yesterday. It was about how I didn't like Star Trek Picard because I don't. What I've seen of it so far. Maybe I'll like it if I watch the whole thing. I doubt it, but it's possible. And anyway, most people who knew me knew it was like, oh, just lightly teasing. I don't care, like what you like. But I got these reactions from people who were so deeply invested in cruelty and hatred and their oh, it's a certain form of gatekeeping that makes them feel superiority, their own superiority, which is masking this massive inferiority complex. And I want to say to them, you don't have to feel inferior. It's okay. Things change. The only constant is change, right? And things change. And you know what? Yeah, I don't like the new Star Treks, That's okay. It's okay because it doesn't matter. If somebody else finds joy in that, if somebody else finds inspiration and representation and all those things that matter, my opinion does not. So, like what you like and do what you do. And I know this is all not tying together as well as I would normally like, but you know, we're strong and we're strong together. And we have to keep that in mind because we live in horrible times. And so we have to find joy when we can. And I find joy in strength. And I am strong. And I am a survivor. And I will always be a survivor. If for nothing else, maybe just out of spite. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm probably, like I said, I'm not tying this all together. But I love you all, my darlings. And I will talk to you soon.